Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Stop, do not scroll, do not treat this like background noise. Before anything else, let me ask you something deeply uncomfortable. What if Allah is about to surprise you, and this moment right now is part of that preparation, not tomorrow, not someday, now? Most people think Allah's surprises come loudly. Sudden wealth, instant relief, dramatic change. But the real ones, they begin quietly, with awareness. And awareness often feels unsettling, because once you know, you are responsible. This message is not here to entertain you. It is here to interrupt you, to stop you mid-routine, to shake something loose in your heart. If you are looking for comfort only, this may not be for you. But if you are someone who wants to make wise spiritual decisions, if you want an Islamic life that is real, not performative, then listen carefully. Because Allah's surprise does not arrive randomly, it arrives with precision. Let us begin with a truth most people avoid. Many believers today are not struggling because they lack faith. They struggle because their faith is selective. They trust Allah with their prayers, but not with their plans. They surrender their words, but not their decisions. And slowly, without realizing it, something dangerous happens. Life becomes busy. Religion becomes scheduled, dua becomes routine, and obedience becomes conditional. Here is the fear no one says out loud. What if Allah is not answering me because I am not fully listening? Think about that. You may pray 5 times a day, yet still rush through obedience. You may avoid major sins, yet still negotiate with Allah in private. You may ask for guidance, yet resist change when it becomes inconvenient. And then we wonder why life feels delayed. Let me reset your attention with a question that may sound simple, but is not. When Allah says, "Come back to me," do you come immediately, or after you finish what you were doing? Be honest, no one else can hear your answer. Here is something people in comfortable societies often forget. Ease can be a test just as severe as hardship. Comfort dulls urgency, stability weakens dependence, and distraction slowly replaces remembrance. You are not far from Allah, but you may be too full of other things, and Allah, out of mercy, sometimes pauses your progress, not to punish you, but to wake you up. Because what is coming next requires a heart that is awake, not asleep in routine. And this is where the tension begins, because awareness creates responsibility. Now listen carefully. This part requires maturity. Allah does not change circumstances first. Allah changes people first. Before Allah opens doors, He corrects direction. Before Allah gives increase, He removes dependence. Before Allah surprises you externally, He reshapes you internally. This is not theory. This is a divine pattern. And here is where excitement should start to build if you are paying attention, because feeling unsettled is often the first sign that Allah is working on you. Let me interrupt your thinking for a moment with something slightly uncomfortable and slightly humorous. Have you ever noticed how we ask Allah to guide us, but feel annoyed when guidance actually disrupts our lifestyle? We say, "Ya Allah, show me the right path," then get upset when the path requires sacrifice. Guidance is not a suggestion, it is a correction, and correction does not ask permission. Here is a critical truth many overlook. Allah's surprises are not rewards for perfection. They are gifts for sincerity. Not how religious you look, not how much you know, but how willing you are to obey, even when it costs you something. This is why Allah sometimes delays what you want, because if He gave it too early, it might own you instead of serving you. Ask yourself this, seriously. If Allah gives me what I am asking for, will it increase my gratitude or my attachment? Will it strengthen my faith or test it beyond what I can handle? Allah knows the answers, even when you do not. And this is where anticipation builds. Because when Allah starts removing distractions, when He starts exposing weaknesses, when He starts isolating your heart from false security, it is not rejection, it is preparation. Something is being aligned. And what comes next depends on one thing only, your response. That is where the real story continues. Now we arrive at the moment most people misunderstand. Just before Allah's surprise arrives, life often feels heavier, not lighter. Confusion increases, emotions intensify, and patience is stretched thin. This is not coincidence. This is the final test. Allah tests at this stage not to see if you believe, but to see how deeply you trust Him when there are no signs, no reassurance, and no visible progress. Here is the urgency you must feel right now. Many people fail this test not through sin, but through impatience. They rush decisions. They compromise values. They return to habits Allah was helping them leave, and they do not realize something crucial. The moment you are most tempted to abandon patience is often the moment Allah has already decided to open the door. Let me reset your attention with a question that may make you uncomfortable. If Allah delays something, do you assume He is ignoring you, or do you assume He is protecting you? Your answer reveals the level of your trust. At this stage, Allah watches your choices, not the loud ones, the quiet ones. Will you obey when no one is watching? Will you remain honest when compromise seems easier? Will you hold your principles when bending them would bring quick relief? This is where hearts are separated, because Allah's surprise does not arrive while you are still negotiating obedience. It arrives when surrender becomes non-negotiable. And once that surrender is real, everything changes. Now we end with clarity. When Allah's surprise finally arrives, it does not feel chaotic. It feels right. The anxiety that once dominated your thoughts loosens its grip. The confusion that clouded your decisions fades, and you recognize the wisdom behind every delay. You see that Allah was never slow. You were being prepared. Prepared to receive without arrogance. Prepared to manage without attachment. Prepared to move forward without forgetting who gave you everything. The surprise may not match your imagination, but it will exceed your understanding. Because Allah does not simply change your situation, He changes you. And that change stays. So remain steady, remain obedient even when it is difficult, remain patient even when answers seem distant. Because when Allah decides to amaze a servant, nothing can delay what He has written. Allah's surprise is coming, and it will arrive at the perfect time.